Hello, welcome back to Adobe Live. My name is Ryan Selvey. I'm very excited to have Stephen Overturf back on the channel. Welcome back. Good morning.
What's up? How's everybody?
Good to have you here. If you guys are not familiar with Stephen, I'll let him introduce himself in just a second. But he also has a show on Adobe Live that comes on every few seasons called Design Sprint, which is a lot of sports and working against the clock to create high energy designs. And you guys should definitely check that out. But today we're going to be working on something else. And for anyone who doesn't know you, Stephen, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hey, everybody. My name's Steven Overturf. I go by Overturf Design Studio. It's kind of like my personal brand, if you will, or my online design presence. And I've got a background in all kinds of stuff. And so I'm excited to be here, excited to be joining the Adobe Live team again. Yeah,
And
I
what are
don't
we
know what
working
else
on
to
today?
say. Today, I'm going to be working between Adobe Illustrator, Firefly Boards, and Adobe Express. So three different apps or programs. And I'm going to be making kind of like or an art directing a sportswear clothing brand, if you will. So designing some stuff, pulling it over into boards, kind of doing like a photo shoot art direction thing, and then making like kind of like a small animation in Adobe Express.
I love that. All right, cool. Well, if it's cool with you, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to share your screen and we can hop right into everything.
All right, sweet. Cool. So I've got some stuff already drawn up here in Illustrator, some things that I like. I really wanted to go with kind of this utilitarian, very industrial vibe to the brand. And so I drew up some shapes. I've been playing around with this idea called Overturf Athletic Workshop. And so I made some stuff on my Design Sprint show, months back. And if you want to watch that, go check it out on Twitch. But I was like, well, let me revisit the same idea, but kind of give it a different logo, maybe a little different vibe, and go from there. And so that's what I've kind of got sketched up and drawn up, and
Now,
I'm
when
gonna.
you're sketching this out, obviously it's like rasterized into Illustrator here, but are you using a tablet that's connected to your computer or are you doing this on the iPad and then funneling it into the iPad?
Yeah, I'm drawn on my iPad,
Mhm.
and whatever drawing software I can get my hands on. And
Yeah.
sometimes I'll draw on paper, sticky notes. Like I've got like a stack of sticky notes on my desk that will just like be quick draws, and then I'll either put it in like another notebook or something, like tape it in my notebook. Um, so sketches kind of live all over the place, but like when I'm really feeling it or really thinking through kind of like a logo project, I'm usually on my iPad, like just jotting down ideas, like anybody would on in
Right.
a regular sketchbook. So
Yeah, and are you someone to fill up a sketchbook or are you someone to like just do a few pages and then buy a new one?
yeah, I like sketchbooks in particular. I don't really do anymore. It's more of a here is my field notes, my small field notes that I want to just jot things down. So like one small page may be a logo idea, but it also may be my grocery list. So
Yeah.
it's more of just like how can I get the idea done as quick as I possibly can and then move on. So
Yeah, get it out of your
that
head and onto some sort of documentable surface.
yes,
Now we have
yes.
a bunch of people joining in our chat, so good to see you. We are live in two different locations, so if you guys don't see one of the chats that I referenced to, you're not crazy. These will be available in the replay as well. But just want to say hello to Jacob, to Bree, as always. Adam Illustrator's here, which is great. Brianna White is here saying go Steven. We have Leah. We have Sean Cozell. Thank you guys for being here. If you have any questions, comments, commentary, um, just love in general, if you throw that in the chat, I will be sure to pass that along to Steven.
Awesome. Well, I'm happy everybody could join or the people that are joining.
Yeah, right. uh, it's funny
Everybody's joined.
seeing
Everybody in the world has joined.
it's funny seeing Adam, the illustrator, here right now because recently, earlier today, on the Adobe Live Instagram, there was a post about sitting next to people,
Oh
and I
yeah.
saw him comment that he wanted to sit next to you.
Well,
Um,
Adam is a good buddy, so shout out to Adam, good
you
friend.
know, I'm not taking it personally, but I did get really hurt, so it's fine.
Listen, maybe it was maybe he wanted a window seat instead of a middle seat. So,
You know what? That's completely fair, to be totally honest.
I mean, I hate the middle seat. I like this year flying to Adobe Max in Los Angeles. I missed a flight and then
Oh, I've
was
never missed a
put.
flight before.
Well, this had nothing to do with me. Like it was not my fault. It was the
Oh, okay.
airlines. It was the airline's fault. And I was forced onto another flight. And I had to sit in the middle seat for the
No.
very first time, and I was not happy about it. So, um, yeah, that
So what are
was
we
a
doing on
pain.
screen right now?
So
Uh,
for me, I am just like kind of remaking my sketches, and then I throw everything to the side, and just kind of pull from there. I like to just make things and then refine later.
okay.
And then kind of pull what I really like and then maybe leave what I don't like. Some things I probably won't be due to time.
Yeah.
I won't make everything here, but we'll try to get to as much as we can. Since we're jumping from one software or one program to another, I'm going to try to limit my time in each one of them.
Yeah, we're gonna
So
try to
I'm
split this up probably up into like three different parts. We're
yeah,
here for the next hour or so. And if you guys have questions about specific things as software in particular, make sure you get it out because we will be moving on. As the
fairly
show goes on.
quickly.
So.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
All
Also,
right.
hello to Dinorex. Good to see you as always. Every day, it's nice to see you. And we appreciate you coming back. We're here with Steven. You're probably familiar with Steven, but if you have any questions, comments, please let us know in the chat. Um, Now, have you? I know you have experience with like doing different designs for sports stuff. Do you own any of like clothes that you've designed?
Oh, dude, so many. I think it's more t-shirts than anything, right?
Right.
So, less like, hey, here's something from the ground up. I'm not a clothing designer,
Yeah. Right.
um, but I am a graphic designer. So I will make things that are um, for apparel. And so any chance that I can get to purchase or get my hands on the thing that I made
Yeah.
for archival reasons, I will. Um, it sometimes like it's weird, like you'll make art for yourself, like, and I never put my art up to show. Like it's just it exists in a closet or it exists in a
Yeah.
drawer somewhere. I think the only thing in this office that I have is like three skateboards on my wall that I did
Oh, that's pretty sick though.
when I was at a soccer team. So that's like kind of the only thing that I have to show in my office. Um, but everything else, it's other people's art. I like to be inspired by other people, and yeah,
And keep the inspiration sources kind of coming through just by your environment.
yeah.
Also, hello to Frank who's joined us over on Behance. Good to have you here. Um, yeah, no, it's we've got a lot ahead of us. Looks like got a pretty good color palette already picked out, which you already
Yep.
had kind of imported, but you just kind of converted them into circles, and then just building out with mostly the shape tool, and then adjusting
Yep.
kind of with the pen tool and the direct selection tool.
Yeah,
Um,
with this being like a very, like I said, utilitarian style, like everything's going to be kind of blocky, very simple. I came across a video recently. I can't remember if it was like Instagram or TikTok. I think it was Instagram, and it was about micro graphics and like all the small graphics that exist like on your charger for your,
yeah,
your you know, any electronic or something like that, and then or the back of a or the tag of your t-shirt, like all these like small text that legally have to be there. And
yeah,
I've always been drawn to those because there is some layout to it that has to be considered. And now it's over the probably the past couple years, it's been used as like a graphic asset for campaigns or brands. And so I want to try, and I may not be able to get to it quickly, but I want to be able to try to do some of that and then
yeah.
work it into this, utilitarian sportswear brand.
It's also one of those things that like as a designer in art school, I feel like they don't focus on enough. Like you
Right.
obviously have the specifications and requirements for the assignment, but it's not really until you get out into the real world where you're then designing a like to your point like a can, and then you have to leave room for the nutritional area where you're like, wait a second, I don't want to have to include that. And they're like, well, you're legally bound, so you
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah,
um,
I mean, it's like you have to have this random serial number that no one will know what it means. Like no
yep,
one, but you have to have
has
it.
to be there. Also, as a quick sneak peek for what's coming down the line, we don't have it posted yet onto our channel, but Steven has been working on an awesome collection of Adobe Live On Demand, which is a series of videos where you can go and learn all different types of things. If you go to the Adobe Live, I'm going to show it up on my screen real quick. If you go to the Adobe Live YouTube channel, which is where you probably already are, right on the home, you can see that graphics, branding, and vectors with Steven is right here. Most recently, he did this Vintage Feel badge logo, but coming up soon, I think later this week, we're going to be having a video posted about designing a beer can, which is very pretty and cool to see his whole process there.
It's yeah, a little what's so funny is I'm giving it away a little bit. The colors that I used subconsciously ended up being the same as my swim trunks. And I had to
Yeah.
like I like got home that day and was like, "Oh, those are the it's literally this same style, same colors, everything." And I was like, I had no idea that I did that. Like
You
it
also it's
was
also got the
fully
same
unintentional.
for the beer can. It's also the same colors as there's a poster behind you that has your orange, yellow, and red.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely reminiscent of like a sunset. So another teaser. It is a beach themed. So like you're gonna see there's gonna be some overlap there. But yeah,
And
it's
it's great just
somehow
also just
things worked
seeing you
out.
kind of like in real time because it's also sped up too. Just seeing that
Yeah.
process and the idea of trial and error and getting to a point, which I think a lot of designers often feel like they need to sit down and like their first creation needs to be magnificent. But the more
Right.
that I get to see behind the scenes with other designers, the more I realize that like no matter how experienced you are, like everyone sits down and wants to try things out.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like in the past, I've always wanted to just like, oh, I mean, it's the passion project, right? It's like people are like, oh, I've always wanted to do this thing, but I've never had the opportunity to do it. It's like, well, just go out and do it. Like create your own brief, create your own limitations, and then create it and then build it out. I think I've had a hard time doing that of like making stuff for yourself. And then over the
Yeah,
past probably the past like 7 months, I've been able to do that a lot more, especially with the design sprint show. Like every week, I'm making something for myself, and it's a challenge. But I think you learn a lot in that process, and it's kind of fun, of
certainly.
like there's no one telling me that I can't do this, and I'm just gonna do it.
Now
I
we
can
have a
break.
great question coming from Adam the Illustrator over in the YouTube chat. He's
Yep.
saying, when you made the registered trademark, was that a shortcut?
Yes. So I like there's if you on your type tool and you have some text, option and then like any almost any button on the keyboard takes you to a glyph of some sort. So for option R, it does the right, and then option two is trademark, and then option C, well, wait. Sometimes I forget. I have to just go across the entire keyboard
You
and,
just punch the
and
keyboard.
yeah, and then see which ones. I can't remember which one's the copyright. Oh,
Oh,
there it
it's
is.
there. It's whatever that was. You got it. It was there.
Uh, maybe it's L.
There it is.
Okay,
Whatever
it's
that
it's
just is.
it's it's G. So
G, as you know,
option
copyright.
G, option G, option G. So and I really like. I mean, obviously you can go into your glyphs and find those, but if you need a keyboard shortcut, like if you know them, they're there. But really quick and easy way to kind of instead of making a circle and then putting an R inside of it, it
Yeah.
exists in a lot of like built out fonts and typefaces.
Adam says that's rad, which I agree with. Um, yeah, and it's also interesting to see when we do like font of the week, where the idea is like being able to look at all the glyphs and seeing how many different typefaces have different approaches for like commonly used glyphs that then I feel like the majority of people never see because they just never hop in there. But like
Right.
rights reserved is one that I feel like the majority of typefaces tend to highlight and have at least some sort of approach to it, which is nice.
Yeah, I don't ever look at glyphs. I think it's like, oh, I just need the letters that I'm using, and kind of look for those. But I think watching your show every week has
Oh,
opened my eyes to
thanks,
some of
man.
that stuff. Yeah, yeah,
Appreciate that. Um,
let's see, what else
And
can I add?
so what else do we have going on here? You have the print marks, which are in fashion right now. I see print marks kind of prominently displayed now in a lot of designs with the,
Yep,
the little circle with little crosshairs.
yep.
Um, and kind of it's not anti-design, but it's there's got to be some sort of aesthetic description for it.
Yeah, I wonder. I think it's like it kind of goes back to that handmade idea of um, you know, so which has like screen printing is very handmade, like it's a very handmade process, or wood block printing, and so
Hmm.
those registration marks are like to me are a callback to that, and I think people really enjoy kind of those small details sometimes, and so um, I did it like when I was in college. And one of my professors, he used a lot of like office materials, and like would cut paper and do collage work. And I found it very interesting. And so I started to kind of pick up and I enjoyed it quite a bit. And so I tend to gravitate towards like those really small things or like a diagonal line. It's just like, why is that diagonal line there? You
You're
know,
like, it's aesthetics, it's
yeah, it
vibes.
just it just needs to be, you know.
Vibe designing.
So
We have Jacob in the chat saying, "Do you have any 2026 design trend predictions?"
man, no, no.
On the spot, you know.
I don't like. I think for me, I never look at those prediction videos or articles. I think it, I don't really have an answer why I don't, because I think it's to a degree, it's so unpredictable. You know,
Of course.
some agency or some brand could come out with something tomorrow, and then all of a sudden, like it's a brand new thing, and now people start doing it, and it's like no one would have predicted this random aesthetic design choice or whatever, but
Yep.
it happened. And so I think to predict it, I think it's too early, but I'm just one man's opinion. So
No, I
also,
agree. I think a lot of times they tend to be kind of not aspirational. Yeah, and I think
yeah,
that's a lot of. I think when people are making those lists, I kind of want to sit them down and be like, "Do you want to make this stuff? Like, because if you don't want to do this, like, then how is it? Not to say that everyone's going to do every trend, but like." The
right.
thing that I'm seeing a lot for 2026, everyone's like, everything's gonna be analog, everything's gonna be analog, and I'm like, all right, well, I better see everybody start pulling out their, their traditional media. I would love to see it. Traditional media is awesome. I'm just like, I'm ready to see these designers, post the things that they're saying are gonna come up.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. It's like, all right, go out and make the thing that you said
It's
everybody was
gonna be
going to make.
huge. Sean wants to know if you ever do barcode artwork with labels.
I don't know. Oh, I mean, I've never made a barcode like manually. I mean,
Yeah.
well, I do. I don't, this barcode doesn't work. I don't know.
Right.
I guess I don't understand the question of
I've
barcode
seen it
artwork.
sometimes on craft brews. Like you'll go and you'll see that obviously there is the functionality that is the barcode, but then like at the top, like maybe it will turn into waves because it's like a Shore IPA or something.
Oh, interesting.
Um,
Okay.
or like some people get creative with it. I think it's also like one of those things that tend to be in listicles that are like really creative design. I'm like, I don't know if these
Mm,
ever saw the light of day.
yeah.
Um, One thing that I did learn about barcodes is that it's not reading the black; it's actually reading the negative space. Um,
Hmm.
and I
Interesting.
think the same. Well, actually, I'm going to check this. I want to make sure I'm not spreading bad information. But I think the QR codes are the same. I think QR codes actually read the negative space rather than the black. Um, do
I would have
QR
never known. I would
codes
have never known that.
read the white or black? It says QR codes read the contrast between dark and light areas, not specifically black or white. They interpret the dark modules as data and the light background as the space between data. So, okay, so QR codes, they are focusing on the black. Let's see if barcodes read the white or black. Oh, it says it reads both black and the white, interpreting the contrast between them to decode the information. So I'm just making up lies here on stream. So ignore me, everyone.
Let's see
Sean
here.
says you only need a percentage of the barcode to be
Oh,
seen if it reads white, so you can make some cool things. Emily's saying that she loves a fancy barcode. She's also saying, "What? I didn't know that about the negative space." Well, I am happy to let you know that I was lying. Um, Othman wants to know what your process is to come up with a creative idea, and we touched on that a little bit at the very beginning, but there is a really cool sketch kind of that we will see if he zooms back out at some point, and just kind of getting to um, getting things out from his head onto not paper but onto a format where he can just kind of work from there and then trial and error from there, it seems. But I
let's
also don't want to
see.
speak entirely
What
for you.
what sketch are you talking about
These
this?
sketches, oh yeah, these like the the A here, the diagonals, text on
Yeah,
path with a little arrow next to it. Like I feel like
I
that's how
think
you
yeah.
brainstorm.
A lot of my inspiration comes from, you know, real world. I think that's where everybody kind of pulls inspiration. Like, oh, I saw this thing out in the real world. It's like I'm gonna go try my hand at it and then riff off of it. It's like, oh, I saw their idea. I really like it. I really enjoy it. It's something that I feel like I can make or I would want to make. And then I go make it for myself and then I riff off of it to make it my own. And then I think that's how a lot of designers grow and find new ways of working and finding new styles. At least for
Yeah.
me, that's been the case.
No,
How
that's
are we
so well
looking?
said. We are
How are we
about
looking on time?
I was gonna say we're about 22 minutes into our stream.
Okay.
I'm gonna go, as you guys see on my screen, pull up the Discord as you guys might be, or you might be switching over programs. And I just want to show you guys that on the Adobe Live Discord server, we have a spot for general conversation where I tend to go in and I put different notifications when we're live, like right now. But also, if you go to the schedules tab, you'll be able to always access the week-long schedule for any given week. You'll see that today we are starting off a full YouTube day. We're going to be here for several hours. Right now, it is 9:23 a.m. Pacific or 12:23 p.m. Eastern, and we're going live all the way till 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern. Got lots planned ahead. Coming up next, I'll also be hosting Jaden Gullier, and he'll be bringing the vision to life through his lens. Then we have some Premiere Pro masking and object selection glow up with Sin and Emily at 11. We have Zodiac signs with Jess, and then we have On the Spot with Magdiel. Tomorrow, if you have a TikTok, we'll be live at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. I also say if you have a TikTok as if like that is a niche thing to have. It's new for us to have here. And then also there's an educational stream, the educational team at 11 a.m. Tomorrow on YouTube. So make sure
I
you join
will.
the Discord. Make sure you check out those schedules. And heading back to your screen, Steven.
Yeah, I will say I just downloaded TikTok for the first time within the past like 4 months. So
Proud of you.
it's very new to me. All right. So I've moved over two pieces of like art and logos in different colors to Firefly boards, and I've pulled a lot of inspiration of kind of where our graphic is gonna be, and so creating um, kind of this being a sportswear brand, Overturf Athletic Workshop. I want to try and generate an image that is similar to the ones down here, and then on top of that, have my art or logos as kind of the art on the apparel, so to speak. But I think before I do that, I'm going to come over to my libraries and pull a jacket.
Oh, cool. And
Um,
so you just have these
yep,
saved as a library,
yep,
so that you can always access different mockups that
yep.
are kind of flat like this.
And so these were all free vectors on Adobe stock, so anybody can go pull these. I did not make these. You can go do it at any point. And I'm just going to make the white in this jacket this like crazy green.
Did you imagine? It's kind of like a chartreuse.
Yeah.
I remember like maybe
Uh,
early 2010s where like suddenly everything was chartreuse just for a minute there. I was like, everyone's ready to go on a run at any given moment, and we're going to be super street safe.
there we go. And then maybe even let's do black, like a black or a
A little
darker
dark mode.
gray. Yeah,
Also, I want to apologize.
there
When
we
I
go.
said proud of you for TikTok, it sounded so condescending. I called myself out in chat, but I also wanted to call it out for
Oh,
you.
dude.
Uh, just
No,
welcome to
no
TikTok.
worries. All right.
um,
So,
Othman, just keep this in mind. Keep going and doing what you're doing, but just keep this in mind if you want to think of an answer. Othman's asking how to deal with creative block because they doubt themselves in the middle of a project regularly, and we're kind of in the middle of a project right now. So how are you feeling? Are you doubting yourself?
not at all.
Not at all. Boom.
Creative block is weird. I think like you intentionally have to get away from the project to kind of unblock yourself from all of it. Of like, hey, go do something else. I tell people all the time, like, go do something else that's not creative,
Yeah.
and don't think about the project anymore. Like, go walk around the block, go get on a bike, go do something you enjoy doing outside of being creative, and some idea will likely come back to you. At least that's what works for me. Um, so
Yeah.
here I'm in boards, Firefly boards, and I've got my um, Gemini 3 Nano Banana partner model selected. And so I want to create kind of this like high-end fashion studio photography. I'm just punching in words at this point. High-end fashion studio photography. I didn't spell photography right. Photo shoot with a male model facing backwards, wearing the jacket attached. Hopefully that does correctly.
Also, we're
Um,
starting to cover up our own things, so I'm going to hide us for a second.
okay.
That way you can.
Uh,
We're still
wearing
here,
the ja
everybody.
wearing the jacket attached. The logo on the garment being 3M reflective, and the let's see, lighting is cinematic.
Gotta have that cinematic lighting.
Did
Also,
I?
Sean
Yes.
saying advice from Kyle T. Webster is to get bored. Also, we
Yeah.
have Othman saying thank you for the advice. Yeah, hopefully that helps. Becky saying take a break. That is true. What if we just like got up and walked away from the stream? We were like, okay, guys, we are showcasing how to fix creative block. We're gonna walk away from the webcams.
All right, so we're gonna hit generate and just see what happens. And while that generates, I'm going to create another one with um, the other jacket and see what happens.
Which is great. It's also showing that with this, you also don't have to wait for generation to be done before kind of prompting and starting another one to get up. So it's not like you have to wait for everything to go through and then go. You can modify the model, you can modify the prompt itself, you can modify the image references, and every time you hit generate, it's going to let you just continuously do things in the background so you can continue with your workflow.
And I also like forget to add some stuff. So like realistic um, person in an empty studio with a do let's do like dark gray background, um, athletic wear. Yeah.
The one thing I also will say with like prompt and generations over the last few years that has built my skill with, even outside of AI, is the idea of learning how to communicate what you want with art. I think that specifically for like creative directors, art directors, when you're dealing also with junior directors or just trying to articulate what you want, it's the sort of thing where if you say something too basic, like it can be interpreted so many different ways. And I
Yep.
think AI is such a immediate visual response to be like, look, this can be, you know, this can be interpreted as this. So you have to get really good at being able to articulate it. So taking those skills and also just applying it to direction and creative work with other humans as well, I think is getting kind of strengthened by the idea of prompting here.
Yeah, you can see like I've now I didn't get what I needed. Like the logo didn't come through. So
Hmm.
I'm going back in here and hitting edit and seeing with like just replace the logo
Yeah,
and seeing what comes up.
going with the portrait because you can change kind of the dimensions for it.
Yeah.
Dinah's also
This,
mentioning how you can press enhance the prompt. That also is always
yes,
available for
yes.
you.
Yep. So I'm doing this on all of these and hopefully something happens where it gives me my logo on the oh, replace
Putting
the
it on the code for
logo.
you. But it's cool to kind of have this dynamic lighting, the dramatic lighting that kind of matches the rest of your mood board. I've heard from designers one way to work with a client is to create a mood board and show it to them at the beginning. Then also include your work in the mood board, and if you can't
Mm,
pick out yours from the mood board, then you have successfully like completed the task that is match the mood board.
mm. Yeah, I've done that. I'm gonna sample one of these images and see if I can use if it'll describe it for me. That way, I forgot how to do that. Maybe it's just
It
an
was the
I.
way. It was the way. I think it was also just comes from like with generations. I think if you click on it, you can then see the previous prompt. I'm not sure if it
Well, I'm trying to
exactly
get like a
describes the.
there was a way. I don't know. There he goes. Describe
Once there
image,
was
and
a
it comes
way.
it comes through as a prop. A person wearing a translucent jacket with emblazoned, I don't know what that means. With
What is that? Emblazoned?
emblazoned. Yeah, I've
A
never heard of
or
that.
em
With logo
does
on
anyone know that word? Emblazoned?
um
I'm looking up the definition.
wearing a green, let's do like chartreuse translucent
Oh,
jacket with a logo over.
emblazoned.
Weird.
That's what it means.
A mirrored sunglass illuminated under diffuse artificial lighting against a clean gradient background. And then I'm gonna come down here to enhance prompt and see what it does. And then I'm gonna also add the overall lighting be a chartreuse. I got a chartreuse color. Let's see what happens.
All right, I'm
Looks like
putting
my
the
edits, my
description for emblazoned in both chats for you guys.
my edit did not happen. So the 3M, like my description on this image, me saying 3M is giving it. Oh, that gave a North Face jacket.
Give you a North Face. Whoa,
All
I
right,
just pulled the thing
so
directly from the inspiration.
my artwork is not coming through on the jacket, which is unfortunate.
It is unfortunate, but um, we will find a way forward.
So even this one, let's see. Like that's given the vibe I want, but
Yeah,
it's not giving me my artwork, which is unfortunate. So let's
it's
go. I'm gonna
unfortunate.
edit and then we're gonna try that again. And then describe the edit you want. I'm gonna just
Emily says not the
say
SAT. Also, a
I'm gonna
perfect good to see you here. Right now, we have just jumped from Illustrator over to Firefly boards, where we're experimenting with taking some images of mock-ups of jackets and trying to implement different logos that we were working on in Illustrator over into jackets. Um, it might also work if you do something like you could also maybe switch up the model or something. I know you're working right now with Nano Banana.
mhm.
Could always see if something else
Yeah,
could generate something.
let's see. Let's go back to one of these. We're gonna hit load and then we're gonna do create a high-end fashion studio photography shoot with a male model facing backwards, wearing the jacket attached. Logo on the garment being reflective. The lighting is cinematic, and then I'm also gonna be like camera angle top left in a Y2K vibe. Um, soft glow around the model. And
Just a flag for you,
then,
you accidentally wrote flow rather than glow.
oh, There we
which
go.
like I don't even know what that would even look like. I don't know if they had
A
like put it in a
soft
river or
flow,
something.
soft glow around the model, and then maybe even like slight blur and see what happens. I do
Let's see
think
what's going through.
my this one came out with part of the logo,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah.
And then
Also,
we're
it's
gonna
like kind of
change the
cool. It's like
model.
a see-through jacket, which is unexpected.
What I still don't really understand what each model does well. And so I know
Well, you
it,
can even just try out some of the
yeah,
Firefly too, also right at the top there with
that's true.
Image 5 preview. That's the
Image
newest
five
one.
for, all right, let's
That
do
might get
that.
you somewhere.
And then I'm
Um,
going to, let's see, create a high investor photograph with a male, or let's do female model facing backwards, wearing a green chartreuse jacket.
Umacorn saying that you really like the color chartreuse and that a lot of sportswear does use that color. I agree. Also, I feel like it's very popular in streetwear as well as like the bright neon
Yeah.
orange. I think is also very streetwear. Um, with the
Yeah,
lighting
I
on the
got
sides
the
looks cool there.
yeah, I like this. I bought I bought a shirt sometime in when was Max? October?
October, yeah, because it was right before Halloween.
Yep. Yep. So I bought a shirt in October that was a Nike and Palace collab, and
Yeah,
it was these colors, and so I really liked it and was like, "Oh, okay.
yeah. I've
Let's see
even
if
seen
I."
people with the safety strip. I actually, yeah, I've seen that on streetwear as well. Which I'm like, all right, we're just gonna be super street safe, everybody.
Yeah, this came out really weird. I used
Yeah,
Firefly for this of like they're putting the logo on top or behind
yeah.
the model there.
Like cutting out the
Um,
model in front of it, which is like
let's
sandwiched between.
I'm gonna go back to this one and then we're going to change it and then like say replace the art on the jacket with the logos attached. Um, make sure the logo is reflective.
Also have a poll up on YouTube that has a handful of votes. It was what we were talking about at the beginning of the stream. Do you display your own work at home? And 69% of people say yes, and 31% say no. I did not vote, but I will vote. I am one of the people that sadly does not. For whatever reason, I'm like, I don't want to look at it. I don't want other people to have to see it. I will hang other people's work, but I do not hang my own work. And maybe that should be a goal for myself this year is to try to find comfort in at least hanging one piece of my own work and go from there. I'll keep you guys updated.
So I think I'm going to pick one of these two images. We're going to see the edit on this image
Mm-hmm.
and see what comes through. But I like this one. This is definitely giving what I originally kind of hoped for. Kind of that Y2K green. Oh, this came through really good, I think. That
Oh,
is
cool.
definitely what I was envisioning. And so, these two images are definitely where my head was at originally without you know, spending a ton of time prompting and trying new things and bringing
Mm-hmm.
in, source imagery and that sort of thing. I think for me, I've done this with my own self of like put, put this person in this outfit or whatever, and it came out great.
Yep.
Um, and so I didn't have that. I just kind of came off the cuff and tried to see what, boards would give me. But I like these two. I think I'm going to end up going with this one because the overall vibe is definitely more um, kind of that futuristic utilitarian
Yeah,
look.
got
And
that
so,
those bug eye glasses too.
yep,
Those
yep.
chromatic ones.
So we're going to see if me copying the photo and pulling into Express will, yep. So we did it. So we're over
Okay.
in Express now. Um, and I've got a board already made up, 1080 by 1350.
Okay. Which is
Just
Instagram size, right?
yeah, 4 by 5. So I've got this model. So this is going to kind of be like an ad of sorts. And so I'm going to go back to Illustrator and start to pull in, some of these graphics that I had made. And I'm going to make them white.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm gonna keep him black. I'm gonna keep him black. So we're gonna turn that black. And then I'm going to do let's pull in our logo first. Let's do this one.
Also, Dino's in the chat saying that a law got approved where they live, where everyone riding a motorcycle has to wear safety vests. So this could be a new fashion. So we already have people to sell this jacket to, if you're
Oh,
interested.
nice. Um,
Ooh, I
so with
love
the
the corner graphic at the top
yeah,
left. That's
yeah.
nice.
So you're gonna see me switch back from Illustrator like very quickly. So if you get
Mhm.
dizzy, I'm so sorry.
No, we're here for it. But it's also cool that there is that seamless integration of just being able to kind of copy and paste them between both
Yep.
Illustrator and into your Express browser-based software, um, which makes things a lot easier. Just
Yeah.
make sure that you guys are also still saving your work, so that you have a file to come back to in the event that you exit out of Illustrator and you don't save, and then you lose all your vectors,
Yeah.
which I've
It
been guilty of doing before.
the paste is kind of like throwing me off. Like I've got to like hit paste a couple times.
Yeah.
So maybe exporting your logos and stuff is better.
Yep, you could also always set it and incorporate it into your libraries or brands, and then have that kind of work across all systems. Then you can pull that in as well into Adobe Express. But always just something for you to check out. I am
So
curious as to
all
the people who said yes for do you display your own work at home? Is like, what kind of work are you displaying? Are you putting up paintings? Are you putting up designs, illustrations, photographs? Make sure you put that in the chat. Also, if you have any pictures of your stuff hanging in your own home, make sure you throw that in the Discord, which we talked a little bit about a few minutes ago. We'd love to see those.
so all those micro graphics I talked about, that's where this is
Yeah.
kind of co coming into play. Well, if that will paste.
It's also really nice when like you find a micrographic and you find something that they spent extra money on, like maybe a specific type of uh, you know, like threading or like ink. Like if you see something that has like shiny ink or like gold foil and it's like hidden away, I'm always like, wow, they really didn't have to do that. Um, but it adds to the experience. You're like, wow, this feels like more of a quality product. I've also
Yeah.
seen when I've been unpackaging something, them understanding how I'm going to open the box and interact with it and like have words for you on the packaging as you like take products out. Like I always think
Mm,
that's a really cool micro design. Um, Jacob says that he showcases any merch that he works on for other people. Jacob, you have not made anything for me, so don't know what that's about. And then Adam says that he displays his illustrations and his art toys. Which Adam, I'd love to talk to you some point about your process with contracting and working with production houses and manufacturers to produce things like art toys. Would love to hear about that.
yes.
So we'll have to have you on Adobe Live at some point.
Now I'm trying to find a line. Let's see.
Oh,
Here we
there's one.
go. So we got a line.
And to do that, you just went straight up into add content, then you
Yep.
added elements, right?
Yep. And
That's
then
cool.
just using, Option Shift drag to make to like duplicate those, and then I
Yep.
can add my little lines.
And adjust
And
your border
then
thickness to then also be
yep,
white as well.
yep.
Um, Jacob is saying he'd be definitely interested in watching an Art Toys live. Adam's saying let's do it. So I guess guys, stay peeled to the schedule, and we'll let you know when we can get that all worked out and figured out. I know Emily's still here, so Emily, we'll have to talk after stream. Uh, Bree displays her hand drawn art as well as her photo edits she's done and put on canvas and wrapped herself. That's really cool. And Jack Watson has just joined us. So thank you for being here, Jack. We are working on some sports apparel with some really cool workflows between Illustrator, Express, and now we are in, well, Illustrator, Firefly boards, and now Express. And it's been very cool.
All right. So we are close to just kind of like finish laying this stuff out. and then say like I could probably spend another, hour on this or whatever, but
Always.
I think for me, let's kind of like start to animate some of these. And so I've got a
What?
few yeah, you didn't know you could animate inside of Express?
It's one of the best
So
things
I'm
about it for me,
I'm
honestly.
going to so the few things that I want to animate are these three kind of like objects here.
Okay.
And this OAW and then this crosshair and little I don't know what you would call that.
Contrast circle, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, the adjustment circle.
There you go.
And so I'm going to select it. I'm going to go up to animation and then I'm going to go to loop and then I am going to click spin. And then if I want to make it faster or slower, I can click back into spin. And then there's all these things here that are smooth, strong, energetic that all kind of do different things. And then I can change that intensity to do what it does. And then I
That's
can change
good.
the direction if I wanted to. So
Gives you
I'm
full
going to slow
control there.
that down. I do like the way it kind of like ramps up a little bit. So I'm going to keep that as is.
Yep.
And then for the other one, I'm going to do spin again, but I'm going to kind of keep it slow. Um,
We have Nick Longo, another Adobe Live regular, and he's saying that this guy's an Adobe Express master.
I would not say that.
um, if you
And then
guys are
from
interested, real quick, sorry to cut you off.
you're
Real
good.
quick,
You're good.
if you guys are interested, Nick Longo is one half of the Office Hours guys. Yesterday, they just had another stream, so make sure you guys check that out. On their stream this week, what were you guys working on? You guys, actually, you can throw it in the chat if you'd like to. I'll find a link out to it as you go forward and what you were saying before I cut you off. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. So I'm going to go back to animation and then it's going to come in and I'm going to press slide. So I kind of want it to come in from the left. And then again, you can click into it. And then I'm going to do start outside of page. So it comes all the way in from outside the page and then ramp up that duration. So let's do like 1 second. I don't want it to blur though. Let's do
No
soft,
blur.
but I think it maybe automatically does it. Maybe, or drift. Does drift? Nope.
Drift. That's kind of nice.
Hmm.
You can also have the toggle box that always says you can start outside the page or you can turn the fade
Yeah.
on and off.
There we go.
Um,
That's what I was looking for, the fade.
yeah.
Okay. So if I was to keep it as is, this is how you would see that animation.
Hey,
Just
Hoodspud's
go.
here. Good to see you, Hoodspud.
Hey, which
Um,
one? There's a lot of them.
just Hoodspud as the entire the
Uh,
entire entity that is
that
Hoodspud
is chutzpah.
design.
Um,
Great to see you ladies here.
Sweet.
Well, or whoever at Hoodspud is actually
But I
commenting right now.
do I do want to add I think add some like really big text. And so instead of like going over to Illustrator and then copying and pasting, I'm just going to come over here to my add my text.
Oh, it's our
And
friend Amy. She says,
oh, hey
"Good day
Amy.
to join in. Good to have you here, Amy."
Amy,
Umacorn's also saying that the Adobe Express animations are surprisingly good. Yes, I would agree with that. It's one of the things that sold me on Express was the idea that I was like, "Oh, cool! I don't have to open up a whole new After Effects file just to add like fun transitions into this slide." Um, and yeah, definitely worth checking it out. Amy is saying she's loving the mint green. Yes, we were talking a lot about the mint green. We were talking about the popularity of chartreuse in street design wear and athletic wear. And we've now, this is our third stop. We were in Illustrator, then we were in Firefly Boards, and now we're in Express. Also, hello to Chris O, who's saying, great episode. Thanks for being here. And if you have any questions, we're here for about 5 or so more minutes before then we move on to our next show. So if you have any questions for Steven, make sure you go ahead and you throw them in the chat.
I have a question for you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Do you know how to make this left justified?
Yes. So
Uh
go to edit under text,
oh, there we go. Oh,
and then
okay,
right
great.
there next
Awesome.
to the underline.
See, I'm not a
Mm,
pro.
See,
Nick Longo
it's no,
is the
this
pro.
that was just some movie magic, is what it was. It's one of those things where I have to ask you like how your day is, even though before we went live, I already
That's
asked that
true.
question.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
It's
Let's
all about the
see.
showmanship.
I don't, can you mess with the leading and stuff on here?
You can Go, yes, if you go into the ellipses next to where you did that, you should be able to
Ah,
do letter spacing and line spacing.
sweet. All right, line spacing, we're going to tighten that up. And then we're going to make that larger. It says my name is incorrect, which it is not.
Yeah,
So,
you got to teach your computer to do that. We also have Dino talking about the classic first new workflows for office hours yesterday, so make sure you guys check that out. Thank you, Umacorn, for coming over to YouTube and helping out the algorithm for us. Then, as far as the poll, since we're getting close to the end, just as a quick check in on do you display your own work at home? 25 votes. So, thank you everyone for voting. We have 64% of you say yes, and 36% of you say no. So, a close split, but definitely a winner for yes. So, I will work on it, guys. I will try to display my work at home.
I do love that you can just hover over some of these animations and
It's a
it
little
shows
creepy.
you. So you're not
That
you're
one's
not
crazy. That's
yeah.
so cool.
Does that
That's
fit the
so
vibe?
weird.
Does that fit the vibe we're trying to
It
go
might. I don't
for?
know. You're the
I,
you're
w-
the design master here.
I
I'm just
was
here to
I
hype
was
you up.
hoping there was like a like text like each letter at once at one at a
Oh
time.
yeah, not quite
You know what I'm
yet,
saying?
but who knows?
Oh man,
Maybe in
oh
the
I like
future.
that one. The flicker seems right.
Yep.
Okay, so we can go back to our timeline. Let's zoom out a little and then watch the whole thing.
I'm not sure if I already read this one out loud or not, but I do know that somebody was asking when it's going to be for sale. Yeah, when can we purchase this jacket, Steven, says Adam.
Within the next 10 years.
For the
Oh,
next 10 years, guys. All right. So I'm going to set a calendar date for January 22nd,
well,
2036. Oh my God. Are we still going to be alive then? That'd be crazy.
hey, I said within the next 10 years. It could be the
Yeah.
next
Well, that's when I get to check in,
six
right?
months. Yep, yep.
Of
So we're kind of set. We could probably, if we wanted to fine tune and, move some of this stuff around, we
course.
definitely could. So I'm gonna move this down, you know, make sure all things are, and then if we wanted to repeat some of the things, we could. So I'm gonna repeat that over there, and then kind of go back to my timeline. Or you can just press play, and you start to see it play out a little bit.
Let's see how it looks. I mean, that works also well too. Like the flicker in, the nice little rotations that you have. You can also
Yeah.
go in and edit your timeline to make it longer if you wanted to make it like a piece of your Instagram carousel that's gonna be 10 seconds long rather than 5, and it will
Hmm.
do all the adjustments for you, which is really nice. Um, but very cool to be able to see kind of this process come to life and hop between so many programs.
Yeah, and
Um,
here I'm just clicking into my image, getting that model to be close up, and kind of have like this border and adjusting some things. And
just fine tuning right at the end here.
yeah, yep, yep, yep.
It's always
Before
great to see.
I export my GIF. There we
And
go.
then Dinah says that they haven't used Express, but they'll add it to their workflow for some quick reel edits. It's really great to be able to watch other creators learn from. Yes, it's one of those things. I was candidly talking to Steven before this, is like for the longest time I was kind of messing with it and I was just kind of hopping in and out of there. But now I'm using it on a daily, if not a weekly, if not daily basis. And when you find the feature that works for you in it, you don't necessarily need to use every feature, but when you find the feature that works for you, it is extremely resourceful, and a very, very nice program to be able to hop in and hop out of. So
Okay.
definitely recommend. Um, but then yeah, I
Any
guess we're about just at about time as we're wrapping
time.
up. We got like about a minute or two left. Like I said, we will then be hopping right over from this over into another stream with I'll be hosting again. So hopefully you guys are not sick of me yet. If you are, you can reach out to my manager and let them know.
Yeah.
Although please don't do
So, so
that.
so from here, I can just go to download, and then there's all these settings that you can choose. For me, I'm gonna do a GIF because I want it to loop, and
Give
then
me a
make sure it's
gift.
high quality. Hit download, and now we wait. And let's see how fast this is from my internet. Um,
Go, go, go,
all right.
go.
Wow, that big jump there, and then
and it should be ready in just a
90%,
moment.
90%,
We're seeing
90%.
some great work, Stephen, from Jacob. Also, Adam saying you crushed it on the piece. Looks so rad. Umacorn also likes it. So thank you guys for giving that positive feedback. I think it turned out really cool, and it's also just amazing that we managed to do all of this in like 55 minutes, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. And
Very
think
cool.
about like if you had, 3 hours or a whole week to do something like this and really spent time in each program, like really refining and um, yeah, there's no
Very cool
telling
thing.
what you could do. Yep.
Great.
But I love Express how like you can quickly animate something. I'm not a motion graphics person or an animator of any sort, and so being able to like quickly do something like this is really nice.
Absolutely. Great.
But I
Well,
don't think that's going to
yeah, let's just
download
take
in
one
time.
last look at it, I guess, here. And this is where it's going to be kind of uh, bounced out as a GIF. But thank you so much for showing us this. We got some more stuff coming up to you guys in just a second. If you're watching live, it should push you over there automatically, and I'll see you back in just a few minutes. But thank you again to Steven. We can find you on Instagram as Overturf
Overturf
Design
design dot studio.
dot
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah.
And looking forward to see more of your work. And we'll have you back on Adobe Live real soon. Make sure you guys check out his Adobe Live on demand on the Adobe Live YouTube channel. And we'll be right back in just a few.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye.